Good morning, and welcome to Unfiltered Vision News. Well, good morning, and welcome to Unfiltered Vision News, bringing you the news unfiltered Monday through Friday. Thank you guys so much for joining me here for this Mighty Men Thursday. With that, let's get started with honoring God with our body. So, God, please guard our mind and our thoughts. God, help me to fix my thoughts on what is true and honorable and right and pure and lovely and admirable. So I will think about things that are excellent and worthy of praise. God, please protect our ears and help us listen to your voice. God, help me to be quick to listen, slow to speak, and slow to become angry. God, please protect our eyes from sin's damage. God, I make a covenant with my eyes not to look lustfully. God, please speak life over our mouths. God, set a guard over my mouth. Lord, keep watch over the doors of my lips. God, please help our hands to serve generously. God, help me to do good to everyone, and especially to those who belong to our family in the faith. God, please protect our organs, our reproductive organs, and help us to honor you, God, with purity. God, help me to honor you with my body. And God, please protect our feet as we walk in your path. God, let your word be a lamp for my feet and a light on my path. And if it's the first time you are joining us this morning here on Unfiltered Vision News, that is something we definitely try to say daily, or maybe have a short prayer or introduction before we get started with the news for today. So with that, we're going to get on to looking at some of the topics on X. And I really wanted to take a look at my bookmarks, because I bookmark a lot of things and then sometimes I don't get back to them. And then when I'm just going through, I'm like, you know what? I need to bring this up. So I wanted to start with, I guess, were some things that happened in New York over the weekend, this past weekend. So this was posted July 11th. And it says, not a single word from Mayor Mondani on 4 recent church fires in New York. So here's one going, and then I guess these are pictures. Why are churches being burnt down I won't say all of a sudden. Maybe these are things that are happening and maybe they're just not being reported, right? So let's do a little bit of a deeper dive. Now, just ask, have there been church fires in New York? Got to make it specific, right? So there were no newly reported church fires. Instead, the FDNY investigated a massive blaze at a historic Brunswick Reformed Church in Brooklyn, which was struck on June 19th. Okay, 2026. Okay, so the cause of that Brooklyn fire was officially declared an intentional act of arson in mid-July, and authorities are still looking for a person of interest. So that was that fire that was burning in that left-hand corner. Yeah, arson eyed by FDNY and NYPD. Yeah, just so sad that churches are still under attack. And then I guess July 13th, yesterday, fire that destroyed the Brooklyn church to be investigated. So the same building, just the aftermath. And so we definitely need to keep them in our prayers. I'm glad that, to my knowledge, no one was injured. But that's interesting that there's been, nothing said about this church burning. Very sad. So let's definitely keep them in our prayers. Then I came across this video posted by Dom Luker. It's but apparently is being praised for his approach with this young man who was getting emotional during training. Fatigue makes us cowards. Interesting. So let's check this out. Okay.
You tired? You tired? You're supposed to be tired. Hands up. Come on. Put your hands up here. Hands up here. Come on. That's where you win, okay? Come on. Let's go. Let's go for this. Come on. Let's go. Come on. Come on. Come on. Let's go. These things. Come on. Let's go, baby. Let's go. You got it, baby. You got it. You got it, baby. I believe in you, baby. Come on. You tough. You tough up there. It's up here. You a wrestler. You a wrestler. Remember, you a wrestler. You tougher than everybody in the world. Come on. Come on. One good shot. Finish. Come on, baby. Come on. You got it. Come on. Good job, baby. Come on. Stand up straight. Come on. Look at me. Toughest man in the world. Come on. That's where you win in here, okay? You can't quit in here, you understand? You quit here, you quit in life. You quit in life, okay? Really important. Don't quit in life, okay? Yes, sir. Okay, yes, sir. Come on, say it. Yes, sir. There you go. Good job, okay? Get some water. Great!
And that's just beautiful to see, right? Coaches being coaches. Just saying. I remember growing up playing basketball and volleyball, and sometimes your coach does have to pull you aside because you just get tired and get down on yourself, and they have to give you those pep talks to, get your mind back focused. And then the next one I wanted to see, I came across this one. It's not that it's not funny. It's actually really sad. But apparently probation officers' overreach gets shut down by this judge.
They told me that the judge don't make the rules here. That was a quote that they...
Who told you that? Oh, hold on. Mr. Flanagan, call Mr. Farmer right now.
When a probation officer claimed that the judge doesn't make the rules, the judge shut that down with a chilling warning no one saw coming.
So this is your first review. This is the restitution of $30,000 was paid in full. You completed the theft awareness class. How many gamblers counseling is left?
I finished all 10.
Oh, you did?
Yes, ma'am.
What about count 2? You owed $510 on count 2.
That's the only thing that I haven't included, Your Honor.
Okay, all right.
Ms. Bryant, I'm still expected to check in regularly and do the normal probation process.
I'm going to interrupt you, Mr. Lee. You're on a non-reporting probation anyway. So if they've had you reporting monthly, you didn't have to do that.
I said that originally, but they told me that the judge don't make the rules here. That was a quote that they...
Who told you that? Oh, hold on. Mr. Flanagan, call Mr. Farmer right now. I like you, Mr. Lee. You didn't even mean to tell on them, but you did.
Yeah, I didn't. It's Miss Bryson. She's no longer there anymore. That was the former probation officer that I had.
Let me make sure they have a meeting with probation while you on here.
Then I'll go do the drug screen as well. Every
drug
month.
screen?
They've been having me do a drug screen. I was like, I don't even smoke, or my case had nothing to do with anything, drug related, but I've been doing a drug screen every month.
Mr. Lee, let me apologize on behalf of the court. I'm thankful that Ms. Bryson no longer works here because she might have got fired today. And so what I'm going to do is refund you any money that you have paid for your drug screens. So you have tested every month since I put you on probation?
Yes, ma'am, every month.
That's a mess. Ms. Bryson told Mr. Lee, who she made report to probation every month, that I don't make the rules. He told her it's a non-reporting probation. Ms. Bryson told him the judge don't make the rules, we make the rules. Not only did she have him reporting to probation, she has had this man drug screening every month when my order specifically says no urinalysis order. What I called you on here for is because she no longer works here. In your next meeting, just make sure nobody ever tells one of my probationers that, because that might get them held in contempt of court. I'm just going to give him $150 credit for his inconvenience and his time. Your balance is $360.
Wow. Now that's intense, because here this young man is doing everything he's supposed to do. And then this probation officer's like, judge doesn't make the rules, we do. What? How often is this happening? That's always my question when I come across stuff like this. How often is this happening? How often has it happened? And what? Ooh, I know, right? And thank you guys again for joining me this morning. Good morning, Thursday. It is Friday Eve. I know it's going to be a great day. Now, the next news article I wanted to get into, apparently there is this parasite going around, and I really wanted to make you guys aware of what's happening.
Parasite. So you've heard of this now for several days. It's been sickening dozens of people across Maryland and Virginia. And joining us now to talk through the latest on this situation in Maryland is Dr. Greg Schrank, assistant hospital epidemiologist at the University of Maryland Medical Center in Baltimore and an assistant professor of medicine at the University of Maryland School of Medicine. Doctor, you know what's going on here. Thanks for being with us this afternoon.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Great to be with you.
And first, the latest on this parasite, which we've now been hearing about for several days. Some states we know, like Ohio, they're seeing very large outbreaks, more than 1,000 people sick with this. Obviously, that is not the case here in the DMV. Very different for us. What are the latest numbers in Maryland?
Yeah, we are seeing some disease here in the DMV across the state of Maryland and Virginia, though not to the same level of intensity that they are in parts of the Midwest, particularly in Michigan and Ohio. It's important for people to know that we do see cyclospora infections every year here in the United States, usually around this time between May and October. And as you mentioned, what's raising eyebrows this year is not any changes in the disease severity or the clinical symptoms that people are having. It's really the number of cases, with a very sharp increase over the last 2 months in certain areas, far outpacing incidents in prior years.
Yeah, that is obviously not what you want. And for yourself as an epidemiologist who studies patterns, what are you most concerned about right now with how the parasite appears to be spreading?
It's a great question, and I wish I had an answer as to why exactly we're seeing these high numbers of cases in different parts of the country. We don't exactly know as of yet. It certainly appears to be the case that there are very large clusters contained within different regions, and they are occurring in a relatively similar period of time. So local and federal health officials are investigating those cases. But it is a bit challenging with this particular parasite to track disease and determine whether or not there are any commonalities, in part because some cases may go undiagnosed, maybe because of mild illness, or if somebody presents for care, they don't end up getting the testing that's needed to diagnose the parasite. Or what's more likely is that because there's actually such a long incubation period with this illness, unlike other types of diarrheal infections or food poisoning that can manifest within a few hours or a day, we sometimes actually see a week to even up to 2 weeks of incubation from time of ingestion to symptoms. So it can make this investigation more challenging. Though what we know is the most common source of ingestion and the way that people get this infection is by consuming contaminated raw produce, fruits and vegetables, or contaminated water.
And lastly, we've got about 30 seconds, doctor, but just how do we protect ourselves?
Yeah, because that ingestion or an exposure and infection occurs as a result of eating raw fruits and vegetables, the primary way that you can protect yourself, first of all, is by thoroughly washing any raw produce that you plan to eat. That's just a matter of rinsing it under water, but giving it a nice thorough rinse. If you're eating something that has a more firm skin, like a melon, you can scrub the outside of it while you're washing it as well. Cooking that produce before eating kills the parasite and protects you as well from infection. Freezing potentially, but less reliable than cooking. And then of course washing your hands thoroughly before eating and then after using the bathroom as well to protect yourself. But really washing your produce is the most important step that people can take if they're going to be eating raw fruits and vegetables.
Easy, important steps. Dr. Greg Schrank with the University of Maryland Medical Center. Great info there. Thanks so much for taking the time to be with us.
Thanks, Megan.
All right, take care, and we'll be right back after this quick break. Psoriasis.
And the interesting thing about this is the simple fact that it's not airborne because it's a parasite. So literally, it's like water and food. Really? What is going on? It's just this is exhausting. So apparently, cyclospora, yeah, there we go. Canadensis is a microscopic single-celled parasite that causes an intestinal infection called cyclopsoriasis. It's spread through food and water contaminated with the parasite's hardy egg-like stage, right? Most often via fresh produce like cilantro, basils, raspberries, snow peas, or bagged salads. So cook food to 158 degrees or higher when possible will kill the parasite. It does not spread person to person the way a cold or stomach flu does. Infected produce or infected water is the usual source. So that's vague. I'm just saying, I mean, I'm glad that it's kind of narrowed down to some of these items of produce, but it's interesting that it's cilantro because cilantro, I know a lot of people use cilantro that deal with like heavy metals. They use it to kind of detox the body. Bag salads. I know bag salads, people have said that you should still wash your salad, even though if it says pre-wash, wash it again, but everything needs to be cooked. Interesting because a lot of people are turning towards more of a raw food diet, right? So they can get their nutrients and minerals before cooking the food, because if you cook food to a certain temperature, it's dead. It's just dead. So what are we doing? They need to get a handle on this. All I'm saying is get a handle on it. I'm not a doctor like that. I have a doctorate, but I'm not a medical doctor. But my suggestion, and this is not medical advice, let me say that. I would say for me personally, what I've done is parasite cleanses, and I'll do them a couple of times a year because our foods do have parasites. If you eat meat, they have parasites. Any type of meat, chicken, fish, beef, any type of meat, right? And especially if you're doing like sushi, or sashimi, raw foods like that, you definitely need to have a parasite cleanse regimen. They have tons of parasite cleanses out there, and everybody should be doing a parasite cleanse regardless, right? Just because, what I mean? It's one of those things, just to be safe, let's cleanse our bodies, because we do live in a world where there's just a lot of contamination going on, which is crazy. Like the water part is crazy because, everybody's trying to drink more water and be more healthy. It's like, really? We got parasites in the water? Really? I mean, just a mess. Other suggestions, get a gravity filter for your water. Alexa Pure is a outstanding gravity filter, water filter to have. I have one myself personally. It's wonderful. And they have water bottles that you can buy, like a personal water bottle that has a filter on it, like a charcoal filter, but things like that. Those are methods that we can at least use to circumvent this, because there's really nothing they can do about the parasites. Like it's one of those things. Once it's there, it's there, and it's probably been there for a long time, right? And it says that since May 1st of this year, the CDC received 1,645 confirmed domestic cases, plus 5,100 more cases pending confirmation. So cases have been reported in more than 30 states. Virginia has around 10 confirmed cases. Maryland has reported 28 cases since May 1st. Michigan has been hit hardest with over 1,200 cases. So the CDC has not pinpointed a single source for the outbreak, and neither has the Maryland Health Department. The parasite also changes as it replicates, making it harder to link cases to one source. And I know you're kind of feeling, I know everybody just threw their hands up and said, why did you even tell me about this? Because you need to know. But again, find a good, and this is not, how should I say it? This is just a suggestion. I'm not giving medical advice. Find a good parasite cleanse. And we should be cleansing our bodies a couple of times a year anyway, just to get all the toxins out of our bodies anyway. So I think this is just something to make people more aware. So some of the symptoms can be watery diarrhea, bloating, cramping, fatigue, gas, loss of appetite, nausea, and weight loss are the most common symptoms. So those are symptoms of a common cold. So how would you even know the difference, right? Less common ones include body aches, headache, low-grade fever, and vomiting. Again, still common cold, right? Symptoms typically start about a week after exposure, but can range from 2 days to 2 weeks, a lag that makes tracing this source difficult. It also has an unusual relapsing pattern. Symptoms often improve and then return before treatment begins, which can trick people into thinking they're recovering naturally. Again, parasite cleanses. Now, here's some of the suggestions. Tryptophan, I can't even pronounce these things, TMP, SMX, sold as Bactrim, Septra, or Cotrim is a treatment of choice. Adults dosing is TMP 160. I don't even know what this is. People with HIV may need longer courses of therapy. No highly effective alternative has been identified for people allergic to or intolerant of this particular medication. I think it's interesting because I've never heard of this medication before. Are they introducing something new? And very interesting. So I said they refer to a parasite as a disease or an illness. From my understanding, a parasite is neither one of those, right? And it goes through and says the video's loose usage isn't wrong exactly. Colloquially, the parasite is spreading and the illness is spreading get used to mean roughly the same thing. But you're right, that strictly speaking, a parasite isn't itself a disease, it's the cause of one. So the parasite may cause the symptoms, which will, turn into the disease or illness. Again, you got to cleanse. We've had parasites. So like I said, I find it fascinating that, they've got something to cure a parasite. When people have been doing parasite cleanses for years, I'm just going to have a lot of papaya. I'm just saying. It's good for parasites. And it's good to keep your body clean as well. Now, the next thing I want to get into, and you guys may have seen this, you may have not. This was something done by the World Economic Forum back in 2022, and it was Advancing Digital Agency, the Power of Data Intermediaries. And I wanted to go over it mainly because I was going back through, just my notes and different things. And data is really big right now. Everybody's talking about data and even I saw a commercial for, what was it? Your bank account, linking your bank account to Experian, and how that's going to boost your credit score. And we talked about that a couple of months ago, how they're really using that to backdoor people so they can watch your movements, so they can find out how you're spending money, where you're spending money, and what you're spending on money on, and probably even why. Why do you need all of this information and data? Right? So so some of the things that they talked about in this meeting in 2022 was the challenge, human technology interaction, and the data value chain. We are the value. Our data is the value, so that they can reach out to us, or, make commercials to where we want to go out and buy things. I used to work for a behavioral targeted marketing agency. Let me say that again. It was a behavioral targeted marketing agency. And that was back in 2017. So almost 10 years ago. Yeah. So this has been happening for a long time. It's not anything really new. So they talked about the trust gap in data sharing, data intermediaries, data value chains, exploring data value chains, the opportunity, trustworthy human-centric data intermediaries, data intermediary organizational models, the policy environment, human-centric and fiduciary duty, right? Moving towards trusted digital agency. Is anybody trusting anything right now? And we have digital agencies. Again, this was just 4 years ago that they were, looking at how to implement all of this, but we're already here. So to look back to see how they had, forecasted, basically. So the role of digital identity in support human agency, automated decision making. Yeah. A potential trusted digital agency model, reshaping human technology interaction, how the use of data intermediaries shapes human technology interaction, user experience design, consequences of using third-party digital agent. So I don't know if you guys were really into it or paying attention to it, but I want to say like 23, 24, they started talking about digital marketing. It was really, really heavy. Digital agencies, really, really heavy. Now I think you have agents that can run your digital marketing agency that are all AI. We're not even really interacting with one another the way we used to or the way we need to. But again, this was done by the World Economic Forum 2022. And right now, in my opinion, we're living in it. We are living in it. And before we get out of here, there was one thing I came across. This was it. It was the executive summary. Data intermediaries represent a new policy to navigate the challenges of the growing data ecosystem. So here's one challenge. Everyone is familiar with the paradigm of going online and clicking on terms and conditions they don't understand or take time to read. No one knows nor follows what happens to their data. This status quo creates a reliance on companies to be responsible, but can lead to mistrust in the data ecosystem as a whole. Further, mistrust between people and technology becomes amplified the more complex the data ecosystem becomes over time, where once people had screens to navigate new ambient data collections methods with their many benefits create nervousness and resignation when people don't have the full picture. In some cases, individuals may opt out of interacting with technologies that would be of huge benefit to their lives. But what if it were possible to outsource these decision points to a trusted agent acting on an individual's or even a group's behalf? None of that sounds right. So I don't trust you, so I'm just going to outsource my trust. What? No. But it's this stuff. But this is where we're at right now. They just said it. Outsource these decision points. They're not decision points. It's my security, safety, privacy. And you want me to outsource that to a machine? And you wonder why people don't trust you. I'm just saying, just a lot. I'll make sure to put that in the link of the show so you guys can go through it and just see it. It's about 46 pages. It's not horrible, but these are the things that we have to bring up now because right now we're living in it. And a lot of times when you find things out ahead of times, you can try and warn people, but it's different telling them like, hey, 4 years ago, they were already planning this. Where are we at right now? I know, kind of late to the party, but at least because you've already lived through a part of it, you can see it for what it is and you have a better opportunity to navigate going forward. So thank you guys so much for joining me here on Unfiltered Vision News. We'll be back tomorrow with Prayer with Fridays. Thanks again so much for joining us here for this Mighty Men Thursday. And remember, stay well, stay focused, and stay unfiltered. We'll see you in the next one.